he has some fantastic mechanical ability. So I'm curious to see how will the Oddity lineup will switch up their approach for it.
Oh, waiting to see. There we go. Lion Band coming in first. I believe that was from Oddity. So no lion. And I've heard him being referenced to, you know, the lion out of the cage at the moment. So there's no cage, there's no lion, there's no opportunity to let him out.
Yeah, I believe the lock will still be quite solid on that cage for Lion, as during the ban phase, the man just can't take a break at all.
Obviously going to be spotting out Maverick as one of the bans for the attackers. Cade's going to be picked up, as that is ACME's ban. Who are we expecting for the last one?
I'm actually not too sure, really, because, well, okay, Mira. Technically, we could have called it a Mira ban for this one, as Mira ban has been a fairly stock standard one throughout a fair few series and throughout the whole Pro League. So probably the biggest oddity here, pun unintended, would be the Kaid ban, because Kaid is a very, well, to a certain degree, situational character, with his utility being slightly more complex than Bandit's. But the weaponry, say the slug shotgun, now that is a unit of a weapon.
You shove that barrel in someone and they're not going to see the light of day.
Oh, never, ever.
No. Alrighty, so we're going to be going to CCTV Old Kashi Boys. So, more or less Garage being held, and how you feeling now that we're heading into this one?
Well, CCTV and Cash, ever since the Clubhouse rework, has been a stock standard choice for the first side, as it allows quite a substantial amount of flexibility for defense. You want to hunker down full-on turtle style? You can do it. You want to play flex from below or have a whole lot of roaming? Easy. So it really depends on the whole lineup, and so far, from what I'm seeing, we might be seeing quite a aggressive actually play with Raven out of all the people playing on Jaeger. Because I'll explain why I'm quite surprised, because within the previous matchups, when Raven has been subbing in, he was playing a very passive role on utility, say Castle, say, I don't know, Rook, whichever operator that could bring in just a whole lot of utility, he would play it. This time, it's a complete 180. He can frag the heck out and still have some utility to deny the grenades.
I'm pretty excited to see what he can do here, because that's obviously the coach stepping in, the drone now coming through, and he's going to be able to deny any further knowledge. Now, obviously going for the bandit trick. Need they with the Habana and Thermite as hard breaches?
Yeah, well, Hibana's and Thermite's job will be made so much harder now that Maverick's off the board, because you can't flat-out deny that breach. But I don't think that will make it. That will be any problem at all, as the asphyxiating bolt will be pretty much sealing the deal.
Yeah, already out in the open, so God being caught in towards Garage here, somewhat of a standoff. Starting to take more control. Nice placement of the Valkyrie. Yeah, so close. Now he's been able to spot two. There's the Nitro Cell coming through. No, they do see it. They do read it. That's Dino taking down the opening. And another as well, as Vast gets caught out. Two men down, and Oddity are going to have to hold this with only three.
Indeed. The full control of garages now will be in effect, so that will be a bit of an issue, but Redolent with the Aldo already all prepped up and ready to spray them down. But the plant is actually going down. The C4 could actually deny it, but Dino picking up a kill, as well as Styx getting the better of Vinny. This is not looking all swell at all. Raven is the last man standing, but he's on the sneaky boy plays. Will be running in, getting right on back onto the side, but Hayward at the end will be switching and pulling a reverse card and taking him out.
Certainly so, but that was considering there was a bandit, that was quite explosive to head straight into that side. ACME waste absolutely no time at all there.
Yeah, it actually reminds me of the very first matchup where Zealous were getting quite aggressive on their pushes against Augulus, and were able to go for a couple of plants quite successfully.
Maybe a trend that might be starting to reoccur, my friend, but here we go back. I'm going to go for CCTV and Cash again. Feeling as though they might be able to hold it a little bit better this time. It seemed like there was not really too much resistance coming from Oddity in that particular round.
It certainly felt like one of those rounds, like, yeah, we got sidetracked. Let's retry this again. And plenty of times, teams were able to actually perform way better on the second try now that they got a little bit all warmed up. Now that they know that the opposite team can go for a very aggressive play, and
going up.
Maybe this will be it, Chief.
This has to be it at this point. Well, 10 seconds left in the prep stage, so looks like they're going to be running a similar setup with both Raven and God playing in toward Garage. I suppose Raven wasn't really in Garage, it was more God that was playing from that angle, and now Raven deciding to head toward the eastern stairs.
Yeah, I feel that to a certain degree the success of how you can hold the garage is pretty much based off one person, which you wouldn't really want to have that, because as soon as that person is killed out of either a very thin angle or something like that, this is it.
Yep. Well, that's it for when. Oh, look at the angle on that. The timing was so good from Dino as well after Habana breaches in towards Castle's reinforcements. Just waiting for the timing. Now they're going to go fast and hard. There's absolutely nothing Bandit can do because he's not in the position to either. That's going to be, again, Cash Room opened up, rather CCTV opened up. And this is looking so damn sharp from ACME.
Indeed, and even after an attempt to try to change up the roster of the operators, this certainly is not looking all swell at all. Hills is already on his way to try to clutch this up, but no, Vast will be getting the better of Hills, albeit he is tagged up quite substantially.
So that's the Thatcher gone as well. I don't know, I believe there was only one EMP grenade thrown, so that's going to be a waste of two that they could have possibly used further into the site, but they already have CCTV room open, meaning that they can start to push in a little bit more aggressive. Two players low on Oddity as well. Haywood just opening up once again. Strider's going to be there to try and get that plant down once they do inevitably take control of CCTV, which is coming out. Smokes now to deny the lines of sight coming through from the defenders, and oh wowzers, that was mighty close.
And meanwhile, Vasto with some shots will be able to get the better of Stiggs, and with a free fire from below will be looking Strider off his plan, as well as so much damage is being dealt. Ballsy push out from Red will be getting the better of Strider. Hayward returning back 2-on-2 is now in effect, with Redolent tagged up quite substantially and forced on the back foot once again. Time. Yep.
Yeah, time's running very thin there, Cthulhu. 35 seconds left on the clock. They do have line of sight in toward Cash, but it's all about the timing. Manages to find the backside, doesn't find the kill, however. One more smoke was remaining. They're going to go and stick the plan in the corner. Ravens found the timing and the angle on the Dino. Hayward trying to find some sort of a response, but it's pretty much dying in the time, as now there's literally nowhere for her to go. Well, taken down as Raven as again trying to head on into that site, but my word, that was a lot better from Oddity to deny that bomb plan early on.
Yeah, that was definitely a much better performance from Oddity compared to the first round, and albeit that it still ended up coming down to 2 versus 2, it still worked out quite well, with Redolent just going and deciding, yeah, I'm just gonna send it.
Absolutely send it, Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Don't even think about doing anything else.
just send it. If you sent it, it got delivered, and they got served by that older 556 as well.
Certainly did. So Again, going with that double hard breach setup. We do head to Church and Arsenal. Down in toward the basement. So, what are we expecting coming in from here, Cthulhu?
Well, from the downstairs, it's been pretty much the most iconic site to defend on Clubhouse. This one, even after the rework, does still boast mainly a turtle strategy, but with a fair few spots now way more reachable. The defense can still pull off quite some interesting plays, to say at the very least, but mainly what Oddity will be potentially doing is just going for a hard-out defense of the blue tunnel as well as the memorial room drop-down, because that's where the two main points could be emphasized by the offense, and if that won't, then the next one to go will be the kitchen hatch.
Well, only fighting out in due time. Prep stage is well and truly done and dusted. 3 minutes on the clock now, ticking down for ACME to make their move. Tripling up at this point. Opening just the walls. The basement, the L hallway.
Yeah, the L hallway is all there and ready. But with the way how things have been set up, really, it definitely will prompt ACME to potentially go for a very stock standard push, see if they can take control of the kitchen, have a wooden floor opened up outside the bar, and then see if they can go for frags from there. But as it stands, Hayward is being a bit more cautious about the goo mines that could be potentially waiting for him and setting him up for his death.
That's a lot of information Hayward's been able to get with that drone collection. Barna going to be breaching down now. Hayward making further progress. That's going to be the Valcam gone. Starting to put a little bit more pressure in towards Church.
Yeah, with things how now are slowly heating up, already half a round gone, and only now ACME have started making some progress with the hatches being open. As it stands right now, Hayward might need to start making some moves already, but Dino and Strider already pushed in, so it does seem like this may be the full-on play. Vinny will be with the first kill on the round onto Hills, be getting better of him. That is Thatcher off the board.
A lot of players in towards that L hallway, and again, Memorial not under control just yet. Here comes the Thermite. Doesn't manage to blow. It does. Dino takes down Vinny, and now it's about to be on like Donkey Kong. But Vast is on the right angle. Raven's being able to spot out one through the murder hole, and Vast holding down the line towards Staircase. It's going to be Hayward pushing in aggressively, shutting at least one. They're taking complete control, but it's all onto Hayward. He's got only his wits and his will to make this work, and surely in a 1v3 this won't work out.
Definitely. Well, he's still got 20 seconds to go and 3 heads to pop. So he potentially might be going in for a emergency plant if he will need, as the time is clocking down. He does know that there will be one person holding an angle, gets himself tagged up quite substantially. The info is out as Raven will be going in for the pre-fire. The Goo Mines is coming out, and Govlegion at the end will be finishing him off. Round 3 goes into the hands of Oddity Esports with 2-1 scoreline.
Yeah, patience was so nice from Oddity there, not really stressing at all with that plan, because obviously time running thin. What is it, 7-8 seconds that you've got to try to stick that plant for? So Hayward was always in an uphill battle. Still, it looked like maybe they were going to be able to make their way in when Hayward had gone aggressive, but Raven on that line, the little murder hole, I believe it was coming through from Arsenal, but
yeah. I'm actually quite, to a certain degree, surprised that ACME didn't decide to open up that wall, as that is one of the quite usual peak spots that the defenders could leave, and ACME ended up falling for that classic blunder. Just was very unfortunate for them, but nonetheless, everything is still on the cards, and both teams can pull off some great comebacks. But looking at the scoreline, Hills and Stratus is sitting on that sweet round pastry.
6 kills for Dino. Hills and Strider just getting dragged along for the ride at this point. That's alright.
Dino has been actually a very promising player within ACME and within the previous rosters. The man is an actual fragging machine if you set him up just right. And well, throughout the first round we saw pretty much plenty of that. But for the current defense, it's somewhat similar how you can play it out as the CCTV cache, but also it offers a couple extra angles, in my opinion, both for offense and defense. Because because it's mainly you can, for example, go for a push to CCTV, which mainly would be abandoned and would have a couple of booby traps in there. And then you take control of construction. From there, you have two ways. You can either go flat out onto a push into the master bedroom, or you can take the logistics office, which also provides a good crossfire position for anyone who would try to push out from the main stairs.
Already hearing Thermite get to work nice and early there, so again, wasting no time. Oddity very fast on these hard breaches and not really giving any moments rest.
Indeed. Trying to get rid of the drone, but the shotgun is just not exactly working. Meanwhile, God Legion and Raven already doing some numbers onto for ACME Association. That is minus Buck and Hibana. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, that's two massive frags going out, and that's huge. A strong defense. Look at the position as well. It's Mute just holding onto the line to ensure that even if they do try to push their way into Jim, he's just going to be waiting for them on this small little angle. Dino, there we go, firing back, and that was the player that you were starting to touch on, starting to say that this could have some real fragging potential, but still, he actually bypasses the one player that was sitting toward Cash Room. Opens it up a little bit more, maybe trying to gain the attention, but
as it stands at the moment, it seems that ACME's offense is fully stalled out, and they're trying to kind of just improvise on how they can salvage it. And it seems that Hills might have a decent idea, but the fact that there's two people on the main stairs could potentially thwart his plan. Oh, never mind, says Hills as he just blasts Raven's head away. Poor bloke just couldn't take it.
Holy moly, stairs will never be the same after that. Very nicely done from Hills, and Hills manages to rotate back around Red to find the shots through the open window. Mute's still holding on tight, so what looked so promising has been turned into nothing. Dino takes down God Legion, and it's all coming on to Vinny. Does have that shotgun. The SMG as a sidearm, and Nitro Cell still left, so could deny it, but Hills with the strong read, and what a round from Hills.
Oh my goodness, I'm actually quite amused because that was the round for Oddity to take, and boy, did they not take it at the end. It was a very strong start, but yeah, I mean, ACME that I was just about to ready to throw in a bag and say goodbye, beautiful, just salvaged that round pretty eloquently.
That was very nicely done from Hills, constantly just, you know, being in different positions, and it looked so damn good, like you're saying, from Oddity. So early on they found the two. So now we're going to be heading back to CCTV and Cash with Thermite, Thatch up. Got the Sophia, which I don't believe we saw earlier.
No, we didn't see actually Sophia. No, you are right. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Do you reckon this was the case of Oddity getting kind of preemptively cocky about it, saying, "Oh yeah, we got the actual, like, the second and the third round in a row. Yeah, we should be fine."
I reckon it's a mixture of, you know, yes, the mentality can come into it, but I also think that this has allowed ACME to maybe do some homework on this, because, you know, we were talking about the fact that Oddity had come into this with a really good result. It might also have given away a lot of their strategies, a lot of their kind of plays that they're looking to make, and I think obviously the dynamic's going to be changed with Raven, but maybe they did get a little bit too comfortable there.
Could be, but with that in mind though, still a draw after 4 rounds. of the first map, and Oddity seeming to be a little bit shaky on their execution, considering though the fact that they did have to switch around their dynamic a little bit, bringing in Raven rather than Todd. I'm curious to see what will Raven can pull off. It will be potentially a run out, but can he connect those shots, because nobody is yet repelled over. Here comes the aggression. He does get spotted. Oh, and that is a shot on Dino as well. Oh no.
Yeah, out of everyone you don't want to fall down. Dino's just been so massive, the biggest player by far so far in this matchup for ACME, and that's a huge call from Raven to have made. Now they're going to have to try and claw this back, but look, they've clawed it back already. So they were 2 down in the previous round and still made it work. However, this one might just be a little bit out of their reach.
Yeah, well, Hills is still alive. The man who pulled off some nutty plays. Vinny won't even be attempting to contest, but Godlegion with a C4 will be once again shutting down the stick. That is minus another one by Red onto Hayward, and it's all up to Hills and Strider to bring this back.
And I wouldn't count out Hills just yet. Still finds one, but so little. Oh, look at this positioning from Raven. They're both there. That should be it. Surely this is the round done and dusted. It all determines on the timing of that pick.
Oh boy.
Too little, too late, I think.
Yeah, it does appear that Hills decided to fall back, so right now Raven will be holding the angle, just waiting for the right moment to go for the flank, but I don't think at this point there will be anyone to flank, really. Albeit that if he will be able to get the push onto the garage, he might be able to get some closure for himself. But Raven and Vinny will be swapping around, and now forcing Strider to be a little bit more paranoid about the position.
Oh, Hill's making some footsteps, some noise, some audio cue toward Vinny's position right underneath the CCTV, but even with a ambitious peek, will be spotted out. That could have been left, right, good night for Raven, but it's not just yet. I still believe they have one more charge left on that thermite. No, they don't, so they're going to have to try and push in. Vinny hits the shot toward Hills, and it's all coming down to Strider, who manages to put something. Finds the first and the second as well. Knows the position of one of the last players, but still in a 1v2. The bomb is not in the possession of Strider, and this has to be the round done and dusted, pushing onto the angle. It does get spotted out, but 3 seconds left. There's no time. Strider still finds that last kill, though.
Yeah, he still manages to find a trade for himself, and it's not for the fact that Vinny was the last man standing after that. It could have been actually the potential win. But yeah, that was even being 4 versus 2. Holy moly, that was close.
Yep. Yeah, uncomfortably close, to be honest. That was, you know, a 4 versus 2, you generally expect just to be nice and comfortable. It was actually a 1 versus 4 in the end, and maybe, yeah, that's, you know, kudos to Strider there. That's a huge effort to even bring that remotely close to taking the round. So now we do head into the last round of the defending side for Oddity, and they will choose to head back to Church and Arsenal.
Indeed, and Church and Arsenal was one of the more successful ones for Oddity, with Raven popping off at that wall overlooking, well, hole in a wall overlooking into the hallway over to the memorial room. So maybe we will be seeing a similar setup, but as it stands, the lineup of the operators is still the same, so we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, they haven't really differed too much, I feel. It's been pretty much the same across the board for Oddity, so we again have the 2 hard breaches. Also got Twitch to go ahead and try and deny any util for the gentleman on Oddity.
I mean, bringing in a Twitch is definitely one of the good adaptations, as that will ensure that they will be able to have a much more intricate way to deal with goo mines, with Valkyrie cameras, and even with Maestro devices after the recent rework, with Twitch drone being able to open up the curtains of the Maestro camera while it's stunned and be able to destroy it. So all in all, Swish could deal quite a substantial amount of damage to the utility of Oddity.
Yep. That could seriously flip the round on its head right there, but this is going to be God Legion. Playing in Blue Room, that's going to be a very ambitious peak. I believe that was one of the lines that they held earlier as well, so...
Agreed. Hayward will be the next man going in. His IQ scanner will be leading the charge from Twitch drone. And that potentially could be spawning out a couple more of the utility pieces. Interestingly enough, the rest of Oddity Esports are hanging around the objective. They're not planning to go for any flanks or anything, so at the moment it's all clear right now for ACME.
Nice flashes going down, some nades as well trying to come on through, and what a call from Vinny. Stig stuck around a little bit too long and pays the price for it. The man down. This is interesting, Cthulhu.
This is interesting, but at the same time, already Stig's already used up his utility, so at the very least, he didn't lose the utility play. So with that, in that regard, he's all fine. Hayward picks up a kill into Raven as well in return, as well as Hills picks up a red on rotation. That is not looking all swell at all of a sudden for Oddity.
Like you said, though, they're not split up. They're reasonably close together, so the trade potential is there for Oddity, as now you can see starting to make their way around the corner. Strider looking to open up the L-shaped wall. They're actually going to open up two separate areas, and does Vars get the timing on this? Goes for the peak, but just manages to miss the shot, trying to fade away, getting caught back as he moves in toward Church. Vinny falls down. God Legion steps up to take down Dino, but surely this is too much to ask for, and that it is. It goes the way of ACME.
I'm sorry, but that potato by Red was pretty much all that I can say about that round. If Thermite would have been able to get shut down, that whole push would have been over for ACME. And just like that, the first half finishes on a draw after both teams exchange rounds bit after bit. So now, with Oddity going on offense, I am actually quite curious to see how will they perform, because ACME is pulling off quite some good plays.
Definitely keeping, going toe-to-toe with Oddity, like you said, who, took on Sinister the other day in I think it was, I don't know what it was, but it was 7-something, right? It was
it was 7-2 and 7-0.
Yep. So... And Oddity with a lot of confidence is now being tested, but we must again refer to Raven stepping in.
True. That is also there and prepared, but for now, yeah, we'll once again, says Sticks, I can't find that magical point, a bit of wall to hit. We're back on CCTV and Cash, like the first round of this map, so I'm interested to see how will Dino perform, because he is performing somewhat of a similar role to as how Todd was for Oddity. He's a very aggressive entry fragger who's told, you got the weapon, go click heads.
Yeah.
And click heads he does.
Yeah, it's been a monstrous first half from him, and now swapping over onto the defensive side. This will be a little bit more interesting, so I believe Hills is aware maybe someone coming from that north position of the map.
Oh wait, he was looking, Strider was looking through the drone hole. Oh my, that could be naughty as well, but as it stands right now, God Legion is already in. He's in CCTV, but his impact grenade actually got chewed up by the ADS, which is quite unfortunate. Meaning that there will be quite some congestion going in that cache.
Jeez, look how aggressive they're taking this. Dino finds the first, and they're going to be pushing in there. They've got 2 players in cache right now, and they are trying to hold on for dear life, but that's a nice opening from Legion there. It's now only 1 remaining. I believe that will be Stip. Does slowly get taken with Hills taking down Vast. Red manages to shut down Sticks, who was pushing in toward Cash, and now maybe it's time to revert and turtle a little bit more for ACME here.
It really feels like it, as after several trades, it is a 3 versus 3, so with 2 people now missing out of the action for both teams, for defense at least, it will be more of a call to try to just get back to the side and just keep holding angles, because they've already used up those 2 positions, and it won't really make a whole lot of sense for them to try to utilize the very same angles with the attackers pretty much pre-aiming their position. But for now, they did manage to draw out a little bit. They have the gist of how they could potentially approach this, as Raven could be the man going in for potential breach into either logistics or the west wall over to the gym.
There we go, Red. Looking to open up once again. Still holding to make sure that no one's really pushing in from bedroom. Logistics open a little bit more now. Haywood in a very cheeky little angle. I don't think the drone spotted him either. Maybe it has. It seems like it has. It's a bit of pre-fire coming in from God Legion. And slowly but surely, Logistics has now taken that. Has to be a bit more of a pinch. And the time is running so short. I didn't even look at that. And it's now going to be under the pressure. Strider goes aggressive to try and take down Raven. Manages to do so. Still holding on. He finds a second on the red. He's holding tight, and that wins the round as he finds a shot onto God Legion as well. What a round from the man.
My goodness. Oh, that was a tap through the wall as well. Oh,
That's filthy. That's filthy.
that's filthy.
Pack
That
it up,
is-
boys. We're going home. That's it. We've sent it. We're home.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me just real quick contact the ESL admins to check the wire. That stuff is nasty.
That was so nasty.
Yeah. But all memes aside, ACME just not backing away at all on their map pick. The ones that we were saying and criticizing quite substantially in the pre-show, definitely seeming to be working out quite well for the underdog team. Has considering the fact that their whole run in Challenger League prior to their loss to Zealous was quite impressive. They nearly had from what I remember, a nearly flawless run, and I'd say they, in any different circumstances, that wouldn't have backed down from Zealous, and probably would have played on the same level, and they showed this right now against Oddity as well.
Definitely not really. They're not shy in taking this fight, like you said. You know, that round then, they were so aggressive in cash to try and open those rounds up, and I mean that has to come onto Strider, surely.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Strider managing to bring this back just like that with the castle UMP out of all the weapons is definitely a feature and a half. Because usually you don't really see a whole lot of big brain plays by either Castle or, well, no, Pulse is a different idea, but yeah, with mainly Castle and his UMP.
Stepping up at that moment of need. So Hills and Strider are going to be playing off the back of each other here, taking a little bit more control of Tunnel. And Stiggs is holding that first floor actually quite aggressively to, oh wow, was that the angle there? Or was he behind the wall?
He was behind the wall.
Oh.
But imagine if somebody actually peeked out from that barricade. Oh, mommy.
Dead. D-E-D, dead.
100% certified dead.
That's it, my friend. You hit the nail on the head here. God Legion again, putting more attention over towards stairs as he's looking to clear on out towards center stairs on the second floor, making their way down. The live droning, giving Red the ability to push on through. Vast already holding kitchen, so a lot of control gained on that first floor, and they might be able to look for that vertical play as they had the round before.
On the other side.
Indeed, well, now after being able to reach in completely into the kitchen after a slightly unsuccessful... Oh wait, no, it was successful, pardon. It was a successful impact trick, denying the breach to a certain extent. Another C4 will be coming out, Red will be flying off to the heaven. Goodbye, my friend. As another set of abandon charges will be coming out. This time won't be denied completely, but as it is already the utility, and the time has been wasted.
That's it, there's a full minute left on that clock, but I say a full minute, there was a full minute left when we started to see the openings. Look at this. Looking so damn good from Hills. Already opening up 2. Finally gets traded out. Dino's going to be holding onto the angle, but it's Stiggs that's caught in contact. 2 players he's going to have to get past if he wants to try and open the round up a little bit more. But he's still got Dino up in that little 3rd flight of stairs that could do some serious damage.
Oh yeah, there will be plenty of damage to be dished out, and I don't think Oddity are actually very knowledgeable about the positioning of the Valkyrie player. As the pick, never mind, scratch that. Vinny, already knowing about the positioning of Dino, will be able to quite swiftly out him from the game. So a 3v3, but the time is not looking good at all. 15 seconds left to go. The drop down needs to happen. Vasta's already in, goes for the drop in. The Guman gets into Raven's foot as Vasta will be the one going in for the plant. Raven picks up a kill. Another one as Vinny clutches it up for Oddity, as the round that seemed to be quite impossible to salvage will be all of a sudden brought back in. My goodness.
Vinny, okay, I see you there. That's huge from Vinny. I mean, the fact that he's come in from stairs, found the Valkyrie who was holding on that 3rd flight is unbelievable. The reads on that next level, and so that completely opens this game up a little bit more. We were looking at a 5-3 scoreline. It's now 4-4, and Oddity might have just flipped the tides a little bit.
Oh yeah, and Oddity are just a team within the ANZ Pro League that are known that yes, their performance can be a little bit shaky to a certain extent, but they can still give out quite a quality can of whoop-ass.
Whoop-ass is definitely one of the key factors we've seen so far in some of these rounds, but need just a little bit more consistency. There you go, Hills and Dino going huge Cthulhu.
And interestingly enough, it's mainly Hills, Dino, and Strider, the 3 people of ACME who are pulling some work, whereas you look at Oddity's scoreline, and it's slightly a bit more equal. You have way more people that are somewhat closer on the kill count to each other, whereas ACME is just playing off those 3, call it just agents of death. Yeah, there we go. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Agents of death. I like that.
A little bit edgy, but we'll get to it.
Well, look, we'll theory craft it a bit. So
yeah.
Now that position right there that Stiggs is opening is where I believe Oddity found quite successful the bomb deny in one of the earlier rounds in this map. So we'll wait and see whether history serves correct and whether history repeats itself. But for now, they're going to sit 2 players in towards Garage, so quite ambitious starting out.
Indeed, and no contested actually on the breach denial, so that wall will get opened up within 30 seconds of the round. Strider, so much knowledge, so much information, but will be revealing his position over at the blue stairs. The main question will be, will he go for that aggressive run out? And so far the question is a no. But 2 people in Garage may actually seal the deal.
So now with CCTV open on that east side, Red will be able to start to put a little bit more pressure coming in from the opposing side, rather. A lot of information being gained, rather not so much, because capitalizing on that, waiting for that entrance. 30 left on that clock still. That thermite charge in use there, Cthulhu.
Yeah, well, thermite charge already managed to pop off on that east wall, so that's his main, essentially, work done. But for now, maybe if there's still one more left, could be used to open up the construction wall into the cash room, which could also provide plenty of leverage for Oddity's play.
Strider's looking for that long flank. And the rest of his team's already up there, but look at this, a nice opening coming through. Mute manages to somehow drop the bomb out in the open, so This is going to make the job of Oddity a lot harder. Stiggs is actually going to stay aggressive at this point. He's in a very awkward place to try and fight his way out. He's basically going to have to do exactly that. He shuts down God Legion, but Vinny's there for the quick trade. It's still quite slow in all things considered, but a 3v4, 35 seconds left. Make that a 4v2 as Hayward shut down Raven. This round looks in the bag.
Indeed it does, as Vinny, unfortunately for himself, lines himself up for the sights of Hills, as now it is all up to Fast. 20 seconds left to go. Another very aggressive peak will be coming out, forcing Fast to play a little bit carefully, but he does not have time, and Hayward will be the one to shut him down at the end. ACME back into the lead once again, 5-4 with being the scoreline.
Yeah, Stiggs having a massive impact that round. Stiggs, I believe, up until this round had only had 1 kill in 9 rounds, but in that one single round, I almost think that play with the double frag there with the bomb dropped out in the open actually completely wins them the round. Well, maybe not completely, but it certainly turns it more so in their favor percentage-wise. So we will go back in towards Church and Arsenal. Surprise, surprise.
Indeed, as yeah, that site is so much more prevalent compared to, say, even Byron stock, as it just offers quite useful positioning for the defense, and it's quite hard with the right setup of defense. It's quite hard for the offense to take control of it. Interestingly enough, Hayward is bringing in a Capcan, and the beauty of Capcan is the less you play him, the more effective he is. Because you won't be expecting those Capcan traps anywhere initially.
Without the IQ that we saw, I believe ACME run quite a few times. They're not going to have any kind of prior knowledge to that. So, like you're saying, the beauty is in the fine details of never really being played so far. So, looks like for the most part they're going to leave Blue Room uncontested by Hills playing from the Church room.
Indeed, with now Hills moving over to the escape tunnel to see maybe if he could do some entry denial, as actually I'm quite also surprised to see that we didn't have a whole lot of pushes through the escape tunnel. And with that in mind, Dino though will be the one once again to open up.
Man, how many times are we going to say Cthulhu? I feel like Dino's name is almost a broken record at this point for us on ACME. And now, without the Thatcher, makes life a little bit harder for the gentleman of Oddity.
Indeed, and it definitely shows that missing out on Todd, who was one of the core players of Oddity, is definitely hurting the composition of Oddity's playstyle, as they are known to be fairly aggressive, but only when all 5 of those cogs are being aggressive. And with Raven occasionally playing somewhat passively, this is not working out quite well.
That's going to be Vast slowly clearing out these Capcam devices. It's relatively quiet on sites. They're not really being pressed at all, but this is something that Oddity are now going to slowly but surely start to put a little bit more of the pressure back onto ACME. Again, the man down and without Thatcher makes it just that little bit harder.
Yeah. Red, meanwhile, will be making his way over in hopes of maybe attempting to go for that breach, but seeing as it's fully banded out, we'll need to be extra cautious now.
Oh, nice read from Vast to find the foot, but not the kill come through. But maybe the grenade might be of use. Does flush at least one player out of position for now. Still 30 seconds left on that clock, but as it slowly ticks down, it makes the job of Oddity so much harder, as again, more pressure is going to be put onto them for that bomb plan.
Indeed, with Hills now picking up a kill into Red, it is slowly getting worse and worse for Oddity, as now it is a 5v3, and one of the Capcan traps did get activated onto Gold Legion, so now he will be lacking quite a substantial chunk of health. 15 seconds left to go. It's double spray down by Strider. Will be settling it all down. Flawless round from ACME as they are now going on to match point.
Wowzers. A very nice start for ACME in this BO3 so far. And this is, just for reference, ACME's pick. This is not the pick of Oddity, so we can hold the reservations for next map for Oddity, I think. However, we still expected them to do quite a lot of damage on this map.
Yeah, one would certainly hope for that, as if Oddity would lose to ACME on the map where they managed to slap Sinister quite substantially, this could be a tilter, I feel. But we'll find that out very soon. But Strider bringing over, instead of a castle, an Echo. Now this could be quite interesting, as Echo on this side or CCTV and Cash can be a ginormous pain in the backside for any attacker to deal with, apart from maybe Ike.
Let's wait and see how truly deadly it is. And I think you said it might have been a pain in the backside bar for IQ, however there is no IQ. And now with a... Man, we saw ACME play in the bedroom gym area before, and the setup was very aggressive. This was the first round, I believe the first round of the second half, and we saw them, the two players in toward Cash, taking the fights. However, it did come down to Strider pulling off a huge 3k toward the end. Not something to rely on.
Indeed, now we might be seeing a little bit of a rehost that is called by one of the admins. But yeah, once again, at the moment, Oddity needs to win 2 more rounds in a row for themselves to push into overtime if they want to bring this map back. Yeah, the overall setup will be there. Round count won't be changing though, as the rehost will be just for this round as it stands. And yeah, the rehost will be there. Yeah, now
you can throw the book at them, but the fact of the matter is they've got 1 round to fix it, and that's it.
Indeed, no more room within this map for a mistake, and that's what I feel already we're kind of having a whole lot of just mistakes on their execution, and ACME were able to play off them very well, and just in general their playstyle was working perfectly. And it seems that they might actually been tuning into the stream as well, as Vasta's bringing in a Dokkaebi this time.
Definitely listening to the superior man here.
Mm-hmm.
It's that beard. Everyone can't deny that beard. So, it's like the bandit beard right now. Anyway, gym and bedroom are going to be the same places that we are going to be seeing defended by ACME. And again, touching on their setup from previous, it was looking like that more aggressive hold in toward Cash, and then tit for tat. See how things go.
Indeed, and the setup that currently ACME have, that was one of the winning ones. Gym bedroom was one of the rather more successful choices, and has had plenty of spots where they could turn into a massive hurdle for Oddity Esports to try to bash through. And I mean, with the current lineup of offense, they should have enough utility for both blasting through the reinforcements and outing the roaming play.
Only time will tell for now. I know, already with the cams in position, giving them a lot of information, a lot of sight there. But we've seen him pop a couple there before, so dare say that might be pre-checked. For now, we are going to hold just outside of Cash. As it seems that Oddity looked to come back in the CCTV again.
Certainly looks like it, and God Legion is gathering quite a solid amount of information with just the sound cues that the defense has been producing. As well as that, the Echo Drone will be also there for some scouting capability, as for now Hills will be playing a little bit of a semi-passive role to try to just cover his teammate in case Bandit needs to, pardon, Stiggs needs to back out.
Stiggs now. A little bit of pressure. Being droned out quite a bit, but still holding onto the lines. He's caught between a rock and a hard place. However, like you said, Hills does have his escape, but I mean, that would be a very risky play at this point. Stiggs is going to have to try and hold tight here. Raven might have been just being able to spot the foot, but it's going to be God Legion to pick up too. Stiggs, that could have been the play. Rather, Hills, that could have been the play. But what a call from God Legion to check the angle. It's going from bad to worse as there's still two players that are trying to recover from what they've once lost. Dino manages to find one. Hayward shuts down Red, and it's all looking so much better. How has this happened? Dino brings it back, and what is going on right now?
I'm honestly confused as well, as much as you are, Rob, as right now this just about to get pushed into the 2 versus 2, but Strider makes it a 2 versus 1, and God Legion will get shut down, and this is not looking good at all. Whoa, this is 2 minutes and a half. But yeah, this is not looking well at all. Fast is the last man standing and will need to hack the cameras to ensure that he will have as much information as possible, as he will be going in for that push. Position has been revealed by that Echo Drone, so now it is all up to Hayward and Strider to close this out. Another Echo Bomb, Logic Bomb will be coming out. Now that the shroud of the smoke grenade, Fast will be able to make his move over to the bedroom.
Does have control. Hayward's waiting, and somehow ACME pulled that back. I think that was from a 2 versus 4 then, Cthulhu. That is...
Yes.
Wowzers. What a way to close out the map.
Indeed, and what a way for Hayward as well to show off the newest Bandit Elite skin as well. Look at this unit. Absolutely nutty plays. 7-4 scoreline, and yeah,